Will the growing hesitancy among people for the vaccines worsen the situation of the ongoing pandemic? People are in a quandary asking the question, if I want to be inoculated, which vaccine is safe and immunity lasting? Furthermore, can currently authorized vaccines protect against newly emerging SARS-CoV-2 variants? We need to talk about the variants on another day. There are 77 vaccine candidates, 200 trials, and 8 approved vaccines. There are three main types of vaccines manufactured presently. The three types are messenger RNA vaccines, viral vector vaccines, traditional attenuated virus vaccines. Messenger RNA or mRNA vaccines, such as the Pfizer-BioNTech, has gained authorization for use in 50 countries. These include the United States, the United Kingdom, and the 27 countries that make up the European Union. Moderna is another mRNA vaccine from Massachusetts. Is currently authorized in 36 countries. These include the US, the UK, and EU countries. The second type of vaccines are the viral vector vaccines such as the Oxford, AstraZeneca, and Sputnik V, developed by the Russians. The viral vector-based vaccines differ from most conventional vaccines in that they do not actually contain antigens, but rather use the body's own cells to produce them. They do this by using a modified virus, the vector, to deliver a genetic code for antigen. In the case of COVID-19, spike proteins found on the surface of the virus into the human cells. By infecting cells and instructing them to make large amounts of antigens, which then trigger an immune response, the vaccine mimics what happens during natural infection with certain pathogens, especially viruses. This has the advantage of triggering a strong cellular immune response by T cells as well as the production of antibodies by the B cells. Can old, debilitated people trigger a strong cellular immune response, or will the spike proteins cause a full-blown infection? The researchers have not thought of this issue. One could explain why 23 old people died from Pfizer mRNA vaccine in Denmark. In the light of these deaths, inoculation of frail people in Denmark has been left for the doctors to decide on future vaccinations on old people. In its report, the Norwegian Medicines Agency said that 21 women and 8 men had side effects. Besides those who died, the agency said 9 had serious side effects without a fatal consequence and 7 had less serious side effects. The 9 patients had allergic reactions, strong discomfort, and severe fever, while the less serious side effects included severe pain at the injection site.
2 patients had serious reactions to the Pfizer vaccine. While investigators are yet to confirm the offending ingredient, it's likely to be a substance called PEG, polyethylene glycol, which is used in cosmetics, toothpaste, and packaged foods, and is known to cause anaphylactic reactions rarely. In October, researchers published a series of cases of PEG allergy and recently warned about the Pfizer vaccine. Professor Jim Buttery is an expert in vaccine safety.
PEG is a lipid compound or a fat compound that is used to help stabilise the mRNA, which is the active bit of the COVID genome that is used in the vaccine. It's also been used in one of the other mRNA vaccines, the Moderna vaccine.
Vaccine allergies are rare, just over one case in every million doses, usually due to preservatives or other parts of the vaccine. Pfizer say they had no increased incidence of allergies in their trial. And that's probably because they excluded people with a history of severe allergy. So does this mean that people with allergies should avoid COVID vaccines?
Whenever we move a vaccine from trials into the real population, we start coming up with people who receive the vaccine who have more complex medical conditions, including a background of severe allergy. And so we'll be learning from the UK experience.
So the messages are, this is a rare side effect, and there will probably be more as these vaccines are rolled out in the real world. Lucky for us here in Australia, we're in no rush. And by the time our turn comes, a lot of these wrinkles will be ironed out.
The Pfizer vaccine may not be the best choice for frail people, but it is too early to make firm conclusions. Oxford AstraZeneca viral vector vaccine has gained authorization in 7 countries. These are Argentina, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, India, Mexico, Morocco, and the UK. Covishield, manufactured in India, is another viral vector vaccine. The third type of vaccine is the conventional one produced in India, that is Covaxin, an inactivated virus vaccine. This is manufactured in India by Bharat and is manufactured like the known traditional vaccines, such as those old vaccines for immunization against diphtheria, typhoid, mumps, and so on. Covaxin is the authorized vaccine for Sri Lanka. The emergence of certain unpleasant side effects from the mRNA vaccines has marred the potential of these international vaccines. Many have reported allergies and the other adverse reactions, even death have been reported. However, Indian medical authorities opine that Covax, the vaccine produced by the known traditional way, in comparison to Moderna and Pfizer, both recently approved vaccines, is safer and side effects are free. Dr. Rahul Pandit, Director, Critical Care, Fortis Hospitals, Mumbai, and member of the Maharashtra's COVID-19 Task Force, adds, their vaccines have been certified 100% safe. However, some side effects like mild fever, pain, and allergy are common for every vaccine.
I am Dr. Rahul Pandit. I am the Director of ICU for Fortis Hospitals, Mumbai. The vaccines which have been approved by Government of India, the safety of these vaccines have been established beyond doubt. I'll be happy to take any of the approved vaccines by Government of India, whichever comes up my way first. And I urge people to take up the vaccine whenever their turn comes up for vaccination. Thank you very much.
So do not worry and get your vaccine shot. Most importantly, do not believe in rumors. If in doubt, talk to your doctor. The Drugs Controller General of India, DCGI, has formally approved Bharat Biotech Covaxin and the Serum Institute of India's Covishield for restricted use in the country. The approval by the DCGI was given based on recommendations submitted by the COVID-19 Subject Expert Committee of the Central Drug Standards Control Organization. This is a big progressive step in the journey towards making India COVID-19 free. It is said by the researchers that mRNA vaccines can generate a stronger type of immunity. They stimulate the immune system to make antibodies and immune system killer cells. So this new technology is simply an insertion of the right mRNA sequence for that disease. The Indian produced vaccines by Bharat Biotech is a traditionally produced vaccine with either weakened or attenuated viruses like the vaccines we have had for typhoid, tetanus, diphtheria, poliomyelitis, smallpox, mumps, and in most situations there is long lasting immunity with just one shot. Sinopharm vaccine and Sinovac vaccines are also inactivated virus vaccines authorized in China, Egypt, United Arab Emirates, Indonesia, and Turkey. I must say at the outset, these old traditional vaccines have stood the test of time, and we are convinced that the immunity lasts much longer, even lifetime. And hopefully, Covaxin, being a traditional vaccine, will give the same lifetime immunity we hope. Along the way, the mRNA vaccines, as against the traditional vaccines, can generate a stronger type of immunity by stimulating the immune system to make antibodies and immune system killer cells. Now we find the mRNA vaccine candidates show a drop in neutralizing antibody counts after 3 months. According to the data from Science Direct, antibodies persisted up to 6 months after the injection, but dropped as much as 90% in that time. Neutralizing antibodies normally bind to invading pathogens like all antibodies do, but they bind in a manner that stops infection. So the stark difference between the three types of vaccines reveals that the traditional vaccines seem to give longer immunity as proved through test of time. Hopefully the present vaccine for COVID-19 also will prove that way. Time will tell us which vaccine will give us the least amount of side effects. With all types of vaccines, minor adverse events following inoculation are quite common to occur. It includes pain, swelling, or redness at the site of the injection. This is an indication as well to stay assured that the vaccine is working.
I just want to talk also about the vaccine. There's been quite a lot of reports about the unfortunate events that have been happening in Norway and also, in fact, in Germany in relation to the Pfizer vaccine and its use in the very frail, very old members of the population, particularly in aged care facilities in those countries. We're in direct conversation, and certainly the TGA, Professor John Skerritt, is in direct conversation with his counterparts in Norway and in the European Medicines Authority about these matters. We know that Norway is looking into those issues very directly and very specifically for each of those cases. At the moment, they do point out, and this is publicly available information as well, that in Norway, in a normal week, 400 people do pass away in their aged care facilities. And so that has to be put in the context of what's happened after people have received vaccines. And that needs to be looked at very carefully, and the TGA will, of course, take that information into account in their assessment in the coming days and weeks. This is exactly, of course, the reason why, because of the good situation we're in Australia from the epidemiology of the disease, we can actually wait and have waited to do a full assessment, not only of the clinical trial information, but also the information that's coming from those other countries that are rolling out the Pfizer vaccine, the AstraZeneca vaccine, the Moderna vaccine, and others.
I have taken much of your time in this presentation. I hope this talk will benefit all those people waiting to have their jabs. Best of luck, stay safe, and goodbye for now.